Guys, Eric here. I don't have a whole lot of time before I have to get ready for work soon, but I had a couple of minutes, so I wanted to do a quick INFJ video. It's been a little while since I've done one of these, and I'm sure that a lot of you have missed them, so let me just jump right in. INFJs do not hesitate to express themselves in the moment something happens. I was just got a comment from an ESTP about how he said it's known that INFJs don't really fight in the moment, but they'll brood about it later on. And I thought to myself, all right, well, let me educate you then. INFJs do, in fact, fight in the heat of the moment. We just don't do it the ways people are expecting. It's not always passive aggression. Usually that comes later, whenever the issue isn't emotionally dealt with. But INFJs will respond in the moment by fighting back through body language. The same way we read people is the way that we respond in the heat of the moment. You say something that upsets us. For example, I'll quote the skit from the video I was commenting on, ESTP and INFJ in an elevator. INFJ came in, and the ESTP said hi, and INFJ's like hi. And then ESTP says, hey, what floor are you going to? 20. Oh, okay. Any good views up there? INFJ says, excuse me? Any views? Is the view good? He says, yeah, it's pretty nice. INFJ said that, and then ESTP says, well, you ever go up there just to look? INFJ says, there's other reasons to go to the 20th floor. And ESTJ, pardon me, not ESFJ, ESTJ says, well, I prefer not to be dull. Like my grandpa says, if you're boring or snoring, and I prefer not to be boring, you don't ever do anything just to do it. INFJ says, well, tend to think you can get people into a lot of trouble. ESTJ says, yeah, well, only if you're stupid. And INFJ says, gave a slight and then shook his head. That's what I'm talking about. INFJs do fight back in the heat of the moment. We just do it through body language. We do it non-verbally. And sadly, because we express ourselves through our FE in this very way, people tend to miss it. You INFJs know, wherever you're at, people just miss it. They miss your FE whenever you're like, hey, I want to help you. I want to spend time with you. Hey, how are you? They see that as, oh, he's trying to start a conversation, not, oh, he actually is trying to emotionally express himself because he wants to know how I'm doing because he actually cares. Instead, they're like, I'm fine. And they don't think anything of it. Whenever we express ourselves during conflict, trying to do conflict resolution with someone, or expressing ourselves through FE, they miss it. You know what I mean? You're telling me, shake your head, okay. While you're talking to someone, or while you're listening, or just let out a sigh. Just breathe heavy. Want something like that. People miss it. They just miss it. You know wherever you're at, you INFJs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't have to give you a lot of examples. People just miss our FE. They miss the signs. They miss the body language. They're just not perceptive, or they don't understand that that's really how we're communicating. A lot of the time, an INFJ will not communicate verbally. We will do it non-verbally because talking takes a lot of energy, and quite frankly, it's usually just not worth the results. For example, what's going on with you? Just upset. Oh, well, sorry to hear that. Not only did you waste my energy, you didn't give me anything back for what I just gave you. I just gave you my time, my thought, my energy, and I gave you I answered your question. I actually tried to help you understand where I'm coming from. Oh, okay. Sorry to hear that. Really? Dead end? That was a means to its end. So a lot of times INFJs, because we get that reaction so frequently, or someone's like, what's going on? And then we start telling them, and they're like, geez, I didn't mean to get all this emotional baggage. Sorry I asked. And they'll just stop talking to us. So after countless experiences exactly like that, INFJs quit opening up to people. We quit talking to them about how we feel. We quit telling them what's on our mind because people just genuinely don't care. Genuinely, not generally, genuinely don't care. And this is true all across the world. Now, I'm not saying everyone. I did not say generally. I said genuinely. And I said people in a general sense. If you're not one of those people, don't comment below and dislike this video. I was talking about me. I definitely do care. I wasn't talking about you then. I was talking about the people who genuinely do not care. So, over the course of time, INFJs learn talking, not a good idea. People won't understand, or they just won't listen, or they won't care. Therefore, I will do my best to avoid conflict in every single sense. But I'm not about to bottle up my emotions to my own self-destruction just because someone else has their own personal problems. Therefore, I will express myself. I will just do it non-verbally. So us INFJs learn to express ourselves through our FE. Not passive aggression. Don't misunderstand me. I'm saying we will learn to tell people how we are feeling without ever saying a word. And it is during this process that our TI really begins developing. And this usually happens around the age of 20, 22-ish, mid-20s. It can be, in some cases, it can be a little bit earlier. But usually our TI really develops fully. I mean fully. Not like we can't use our TI. I mean like fully develops by the time we're about 22. And by the time someone's about 34, 40, their SE fully develops. Not to say that we can't engage in those functions, just to say that we don't actively use them as frequently until we get older. But it is around this time where our TI begins developing, and this is whenever all that stored knowledge, all that stored information in our NI comes out like a bombshell. And by the time an INFJ is about 22 years old, they're mind readers. They can read body language with the drop of a hat. And I mean like the second and a half it takes a hat to fall to the ground, we're already reading you, and our NI is telling us this gut feeling, we feel like we know more about you than you know about yourself. And it is at this point that the INFJ usually has had such trouble expressing themselves because people just don't understand what they're trying to say, that we develop this passive nature about us that says three laws. That passive nature says three things: avoid conflict, avoid meaningless and empty conversations, and three, avoid talking to people about your problems because they're not going to be around long enough to help you resolve them. That's usually what we get. Do we try? Usually after we test people with our NI and our TI, then we'll begin trying. But INFJs still, even though we don't actively speak, we're constantly communicating, and we desperately want someone to understand us. So I'm making this video to inform non-INFJs and to help INFJs understand what's actually happening in the moment. You might not even realize it yourself, but you are expressing yourself through your FE. And it is a nonverbal way to communicate how you feel and help people understand this, explain this to them. Because I guarantee you, if you don't tell someone, hey, this is how I think, this is how I prefer to communicate, they're not going to look for it. I had to do that with Travis and Gabriel, and over the course of time, Gabriel knows me so well now. We're having a phone call, and it was just the tone of my voice and my breathing pattern. Yes, my breathing pattern. I was breathing differently, and Gabriel said over the phone, I can tell you're happy today. That's all it takes. It takes someone to make an effort to begin to read body language. And now Gabriel says, Eric, I know you so well, I know immediately, as soon as you start talking, if you're having a bad day or not. I hear it. I look for it now. So Gabriel he's a great listener. He's an INFP. So of course he's an introverted type, but he does have NI as well. I think it's his second or fourth cognitive function, I can't remember. But whatever the case, he knows to look for body language with me, because that's how I prefer to communicate. So if you know an INFJ, or you are an INFJ, know these things about yourself and help people understand that this is how we communicate. And to the rest of the viewers who are going to be watching this channel who are not INFJs, this is how we communicate a lot of the time. We're not going to come right out and say, this is what's upsetting me, this is why I'm upset, and this is what I want to see happen. Likely not going to happen. Because we've been, oh man, my hair looks awesome like this. I should start wearing it like this more often. I love those spikes. Look at that. Look at that. That looks awesome. Because we've had so many failed attempts that we just don't say it anymore. Now, whenever we find someone we trust, like I found Gabriel, I tell him, and I found Travis, and he listens, and he says, you have a very intimidating character. But I learned that you're not really an intimidating person. You just are very bold. And I've been intimidated by you a couple of times, but I said, look, I'm soft and squishy underneath. It doesn't mean much. He says, yes, I know that. So I don't take it personally. But no, you are intimidating sometimes. So I'm like, all right, I guess maybe I should try working on that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's a bad thing. Like, part of me thinks being intimidating is a good thing because that means whenever a boyfriend comes over, my daughter's boyfriend comes over to the house, I can look at him, sit him down one-on-one, being like, you hurt my daughter, I got a shotgun in the back room. No, I'm not. I would be the overprotective dad, but I wouldn't go that far. Not to a 14-year-old boy, anyway. Someone who's older, absolutely. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this video. Tell me what you want me to talk about next. Like if this video has helped you. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm releasing content like this to help people all the time. And comment below your thoughts and experiences you've had with an INFJ. Be blessed, keep your head high. All of you are beautiful, and I'll see you next time.